This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete Haynes online manual at haynes.com.
Driveshaft. Using the locking wheel bolt adapter where necessary, slacken each of the wheel nuts half a turn. Position the workshop jack under the front subframe rear mounting, then raise the vehicle until the tyre is clear of the ground. Place an axle stand under the chassis member and remove the jack. Fully unscrew the nuts and remove the wheel. Place an axle stand under the chassis member and remove the jack. Position the workshop jack under the rear axle, then raise the vehicle until the tyre is clear of the ground. Place an axle stand under the chassis member approximately 700 mm from the centre line of the axle and remove the jack. Using a suitable hexagonal bit or key, remove the oil filler plug from the front face of the transmission casing. Place a suitable container under the transmission, then unscrew the drain plug and allow the oil to drain. When the oil has drained, refit the plug and tighten it to the specified torque. Renew the sealing washer if necessary. Remove the oil drain container from underneath the vehicle. Remove the split pin and the driveshaft nut locking ring. To prevent rotation of the wheel hub as the driveshaft retaining nut is slackened, make up a holding tool and attach the tool to the wheel hub using 2 wheel nuts. Slacken and remove the driveshaft nut. Remove the washer from the driveshaft, then remove the holding tool. Note that the washer and nut must be renewed. Slacken the track rod and ball joint nut, then detach the ball joint from the knuckle using a suitable tool. A new nut will be needed. Undo the knuckle ball joint nut, then release the lower arm from the ball joint. Measure the size of the ball joint retaining nut. They'll be either 24 mm or 30 mm. Discard the nut and obtain a new nut of the correct diameter for refitting. Use a long bar to force down the lower arm and detach the steering knuckle. Temporarily refit the old driveshaft nut, then using a soft hammer, tap or press the end of the driveshaft approximately 15 to 20 mm into the wheel hub. If the splines on the shaft are a tight fit in the hub, use a special tool to press the shaft out from the hub. Pull the knuckle outwards and over the end of the shaft. Unscrew the nuts and remove the retaining plate securing the intermediate shaft support bearing to the cylinder block. Ford insists that new nuts and a new retaining plate will be required for refitting. Pull the drive shaft from the transmission casing and remove it. Lever the inner joint from the transmission casing. Maneuver the drive shaft into place and locate the support bearing in the bracket. Fit the new retaining plate and nuts, then tighten them to the specified torque. Remove the old circlip from the inner end of the drive shaft and fit a new one. Engage the inner end of the drive shaft with the transmission and press it firmly into place until the circlip is fully engaged. Pull the hub carrier outwards a little and insert the splined end into the hub. Fit the chain around the lower arm again and force the arm down. Engage the ball joint shank with the lower arm. Remove the chain, then fit the new ball joint nut. Two different ball joints may be fitted, one retained by a circlip and one retained by two bolts. Tighten the ball joint nut to the correct specified torque. Refit the track rod end to the knuckle. Then tighten the new nut to the specified torque. Use a second spanner to counterhold the ball joint shank. Fit the holding tool to the hub and secure it with a couple of wheel nuts. Fit the new washer to the end of the drive shaft, followed by a new nut. Tighten the nut to the initial specified torque and remove the holding tool. Rotate the hub 5 times. Then refit the holding tool and tighten the nut to the initial torque again. Remove the tool. Rotate the hub 5 times. And refit the tool. Tighten the nut to the final torque and remove the holding tool. Refit the locking ring, insert a new split pin and spread the ends to secure it. Using a large syringe, add the correct grade of the transmission oil. The level is correct when oil is approximately 20 mm below the lower edge of the filler plug aperture. The best way to check the level is to use a dipstick made up from a bent piece of wire. Put the wire in the hole and check the level. Refit the filler plug and tighten it to the specified torque. Raise the vehicle and remove the axle stands. Raise the vehicle, remove the axle stands and lower the vehicle to the ground. Fit the wheel over the hub studs and lightly tighten the retaining nuts. Raise the vehicle, remove the axle stands and lower the vehicle to the ground. Working in a diagonal pattern, tighten the nuts to the specified torque.